Hi, and welcome to our podcast series 7. Our weekly series now, we're going to be doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're going to be doing Wednesdays today, and it's around really the importers. So, are you getting your customs correct? Well, I know a lot aren't, and it can be costing you and eroding lots of money from the business. Again, it's a grey area. Nobody quite understands customs, and they get very worried. And since Brexit, it's been a huge challenge, obviously, for people importing from the EU and other countries and not really understanding the cost involved in that. I'm going to give you some updates, HMRC updates around this, but also make you very, very aware. We're seeing unprecedented amount of audits, and I'll explain why. Obviously, they want money off you, but obviously what they can see now and what you need to be aware of. And this is just by many years' experience and seeing businesses. I was with a business last week. I was with 2 businesses visiting, doing audits with them or just going through the processes, speaking to lots of people through the sport help desk, and doing a program actually on Friday, an international one with 24 delegates on there and from 12 different countries, China, US, Brazil, EU, lots from the EU, some from the GCC, India. So again, and these are the key areas we're seeing. So we're going to be covering this today, and again, some breaking updates of what's happening with HMRC. That again, HMRC are very, very good at doing things, but not telling you. That's just unfortunate, but actually they do some things very well. And I think some of these areas they're getting on top of. So while they're getting on top, they're getting more knowledgeable. So again, be conscious of this. Again, we're going to go through just a few of the series. What is UK customs compliance? It costs, we're already seeing, if you only have to look at the data. Nobody looks at data with anything, incredibly. But HMRC, release data all the time. It's there to be seen. And the difference between what should be paid and what is, 46.8 billion, 2023 to 2024. If you have an audit, it's been very clear. They're going to be going back around the years of 2021, 2022, 22, 23. That was when a lot of mistakes were happening as freight forwarders, as brokers got used to the sheer amount of the sheer volume of customs declarations. To give you an idea, 2025, 67 million import declarations were produced by freight forwarders and brokers. That's over a million a week. That's a huge amount. And this is all manual. Don't let anybody kid you when they say it's digital. Yes, it's not far from being fully digital customs, but we're still not quite there. It doesn't quite understand certain terminology in there, and it's quite in depth and intense. And what I'll do on one, if people enjoy this, I'll actually go through a customs declaration. But again, it's up to you. Subscribe, put your comments on there. We can have a look at it. There's a 3-year reclaim, so don't be frightened. If you're overpaying, we claim it back. I've had customers, on average, I can save up between £8,000 and £15,000. What they've overpaid, not in 1 year, some in 1 year, but some over a period of time. Overpayments per shipment is around 5-15%. Remember, your freight forwarders will do everything they can for you, but they're not customs experts. Yes, they do your customs, but and they've been audited and they're really cleaning up their act. I mean, I'm seeing that a lot recently when I'm doing as an EPA with students. I'm seeing a lot more cautious and consciousness now from compliance within freight forwarding, where there's a lot more. So some do it very well, some don't do it as well because they're using third parties. So there's a lot of challenges within that. Again, it's not just a filing error as we put on here, but in March 2026, the HMRC have created the TRE trade data release. So when you go on your customs portal, which most people don't even know what it is, when you go on your portal for your CDS and you look at your deferment account, your cash account, you're looking at your PVA, postponed VAT, you'll see now they're going to be having all your datas on there. So you'll be able to see it, whereas you used to buy the MSS report, now you can actually get the data. That's one of the new releases from 2026 in March. But again, not a lot of people are aware of this. But be very clear here. There is more data that HMRC can see. They will start to check your data. If things don't quite align, or let's just say 2021, 2022, you weren't paying any duty. 2023, you weren't paying any duty. 2024, 2025, you're paying duty. What happened to that 2021, 22, 23? Are you exposed to a duty issue? They can see it. They can see all the data. They can see your CPC codes. If you're repairing and bringing lots of goods in and you're using the repair system 51, CPC 51, but actually you should be using CPC 40 or other areas because you're only allowed to do up to 3 years and you then need to apply for inward processing. Are you doing returns correctly? Are you sending them goods back properly when you return it back? Are you using the 3151 to send it back? So the importer of the person who sent you the goods to be repaired, so they're not getting the impact of being hit again. Remember, they own them goods, they're just getting them repaired. They don't want to pay duty and VAT again on the goods they already own. So again, some key data elements here, but they'll be very much homing in on imports because that's where taxes and duties arrive. Or if you've got PBA and all these things. You can see that HMRC compliance should hit 47 billion. It's an incredible amount. The UK as an importer is the sixth global player in the world of trade. There's a huge amount of customs declarations, and this is something they're really getting on top of. So you need to really start thinking of working with companies who can really get you fully compliant and looking at all your old data before HMRC look at it. Let's be clear. If you want HMRC to do it, let them do it. But I would advise getting people like myself in and checking to make sure. So again, read the HMRC guidance. I've put it on there because this is an update. So I just wanted to update everybody. Your agent may be getting it wrong. Your agent may be misclassifying. How do you know? Are you doing audits on your customs agent? They make many mistakes, only for the sheer volume. Some do it very well. So I'm not here to criticize brokers or agents. But again, they're all preaching about compliance, but actually, are they doing it correct? Again, you need to be checking. Don't assume that that the broker and the freight forwarder is checking everything. We know same product declared under different HS codes, inconsistent errors, missed duty relief schemes, inward processing, returns goods where you're bringing it in, you're paying duty and VAT on something that actually you should be using the relief schemes, origin documentation, preferential rates under free trade agreements are not being applied. So you're bringing it in, you're paying 2%, 4%, but actually under a trade deal, if you could prove that the goods were coming under the trade agreement, you could pay zero duty. That has a huge effect on your bottom line. Valuation errors, too many high overpaying, too much low triggers HMRC. So too high means overpaying, too low triggers HMRC. So again, look at your valuations. Your invoice should match your customs, so they should match each. If they don't, you need to check that. So again, until March, most imports had no way to check this. You've got now no excuse, you can check it. So by doing that, they're assuming you're going to check it. If you're not checking it, again, you're going to leave yourself wide open. Where do we see money lost? Well, we see obviously commodity codes, preferential rates not being applied, incorrect customs valuation not declared properly, and no duty relief applied. So again, some key areas: duty overpayment, HMRC, audit triggered, cash flow impact, penalty. It's more in your cash flow. If you're paying out money, it's like people that don't use PBA and they'd rather because it's easy on the books. But why would you do that? Because it has a huge effect on your cash flow. So again, this leads to lots of overpayments, but you can reclaim that. So it'd be interesting to see when you start to check all your details, whether you can claim. Again, I've just put that highlight on there. We mentioned it earlier. And most importers, so if you're importing, don't assume since 2021, particularly when we left the EU and we've been doing customs, don't assume that you're not exposed. Most of us have never seen their own customs file in history. Most people don't know what it is. Most people don't keep customs. People don't keep the customs entries, etc. So again, these are the things you can really tighten up. Over reliance on agent, yeah, my freight forwarder does it, or my broker does it. But don't forget, you've signed power of attorney. You've signed direct representation. If you've not queried it or questioned it, it'll be passed back to you. If there's a fine or anything else, it'll come back to you as the exporter or the importer. Always remember that. No reclaim process, 1,000 in overpaid duty sitting unclaimed. Use people like us. We can do this. We can get that money back and get it all claimed back for you, saving you what you're going to spend with us. It's going to save yourself a fortune because we know exactly what we're looking for. So again, it's very important to check. Again, it's part of the weekly service, or on the Monday of service, weekly podcast. Monday, we're going to be doing that US trade types 232, customs and compliance Wednesdays. Friday, real case studies, what we're going to actually show you what we're seeing. We ask you to subscribe. That's all we ask. It's free. We just ask you, we're trying to build the channel. We want to be a channel that can help businesses export, import, customs, US, anywhere around the world. Anybody universal around the world can use the system. You know, the more we can do, we're trying to build this. It takes time, as you know. People don't subscribe like they used to years ago. It used to be quite easy. Now people are more conscious. But trust me, it'll be worth, you know, we'll make this worthwhile where you get the podcast coming early, so you don't have to keep looking onto the website. They'll automatically come in if you subscribe. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you on Friday, where we'll highlight some real case studies. Have a great day, everybody. Hopefully the sun's shining wherever you are. That's always the most important thing. And thanks for